Namaste, one and all. Today I am going to discuss the topic in service training of ECC staff. So, in the previous session, we have a discussion on pre service training of ECC personnels, and today we are going to see the in service training of ECC staff, ECC teachers, and ECC other supporting staff, etc. So, the significance of in service training is that there are continuous changes in the field, not only in education, it happens in all field of life, which there are technological changes, there are new inventions in the area of learning methodology, learning procedure, then learning resources, new and new devices are coming into the field of education, etc. So this in-service education is a must to empower the teachers in all areas, especially in the field of early child care and education. So what should be the nature of in-service training? So naturally, the in-service training means a training for a 1 or 2 days or a 1 week program or a 10 days program, like that. So it's normally it is termed as one-shot programs or isolated programs arranged once in a year or in once in many years, etc. So it should not be like that. So the new perception, a committee appointed by NCERT recommended that the in-service training should be transformed into a continuous training process for professional development instead of this one-shot or isolated programs. So such programs should be provide on-site support to teachers, not only in ECC but in all levels of education. The real support that in-service training can given is on-site support, because when a teacher is dealing with some topics or dealing with some specific problems in the class, then on that particular time the teacher needs some external support. So in-service education should be developed in such a way that it provide adequate support to the teachers as and when required. So there is no question of arranging face-to-face sessions in once in a year or once in a month or somewhere in between or few years, etc. It should not be like that. So the nature of in-service education should be, in-service training should be change comprehensively. That's one vision about that. There should be a philosophical change that in-service training means lifelong education. So that is the major perception about the nature of in-service training. Then it should be based on needs assessment. That's another aspect. So there is no meaning in giving some long lectures to these persons in service, because they are enrolled for in service training with loads and loads of experiences. So they are exposed to so many problems, issues, and they have to, why they are attending this program on the expectation that they will get some directions or solutions or ideas to solve their issues and problems. So the in-service program should be framed in such a way that it should identify the needs of the beneficiaries here, the ECC teachers. So there should be a need assessment and needs based training program shall be developed. Then there shall be an online in-service training management system that should be established. So that's a very innovative idea, that in here for the school level there is a project, kite project, and there is a portal to manage the training of teachers. The training is not at all fully online. Training still is face to face of some 10 days duration or 2 weeks duration, etc. That kind of training should be abolished. And the training, at least the training, now we are telling about online education of students. So first of all we should think about, or we should practice, at least the in-service education of teachers should be fully online, and there should be an online management system. So if you establish such a system and such a database, so the teachers will get on-site support. As and when they require some assistance, they can depend on the management system. So that's an innovative idea, and all such in-service training should be focused on local problem solving. There is no meaning in discussing international ideas in such training sessions or such talks and all, but the training should be in such a way that it should provide hands-on training to solve issues and problems which are locally annoying to the teachers. So these should be the nature of in-service training. It should be a continuous process based on needs assessment. There shall be a system for online management, as well as it should direct towards solving various problems. And what shall be the component, which are the areas, agencies? There are various agencies at national level, agencies, and state level and district level agencies are there. So at national level we have two very famous institutions. One is NIPA, National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, formerly called as NUPA, National University of Educational Planning and Administration. So it's a national level agency. Then NCERT, these two at national level they are organizing and providing guidelines to conduct various kinds of in-service training to all levels of education, and especially in the field of ECCE. Then at state level, SCERT and CMAT. These are the two institutions organizing programs at state level. And DIETS, District Institute of Education for Teachers, DIETS provides this training at district level. And there are other training programs, in-service programs under the organization of ICDS and all. And sometimes Health Department, Women and Child Welfare, and such agencies also are. But a planned agencies for organizing such programs are these programs, these agencies, NIPA, NCERT, SCERT, CMAT, DIETS, etc. So these are conventional agencies for organizing or arranging these, as well as to evaluate the programs. Not only organizing program, but these agencies are responsible for evaluating the effectiveness of the existing in-service program also. So now let us see what shall be the priority areas in service training. So we can see the priority areas such as quality learning methodologies. I have already discussed that the significance of in-service education is that there are emergence of newer and newer technologies and newer pedagogic theories. So new methodologies for better learning. So in order to enhance quality of learning, so new methodology or a new techno pedagogy is now, it is now termed like that, a blend of technology as well as and pedagogy. So that quality learning methodologies, that should be a priority area, because how easily we can a child can learn a thing, a new thing, or to learn more about some with more about something which the child has a certain level of previous experience. So in order to enhance the level of learning, so that such quality learning methodologies shall be a priority area. Then classroom management, better classroom management. So a learning environment in a preschool should be highly child friendly. So how to manage such a climate in a classroom, a child friendly classroom management. Then curriculum development and development of lessons, lesson plans. So how to develop the ECC teachers should have they realize the curriculum in the classrooms in the by formulating better lesson plans. So that should be a priority area. Then assessment and evaluation of children, how to assess, what procedures to adopt to assess, and how to evaluate children in preschool shall be other priority area. Then child rights and its violation. What are the rights of children, and at which point of time, or what is its limitation, where it is get violated, and chances of violation, that should be another area. Then child protection, protecting the child from different type of violations, abuses, etc. Then communication, effective communication, how to communicate effectively with children. Then training in life skills. Then training for counseling children and parents, that's another important area, because all people of all age require counseling at some point of their life. So counseling of children and parents also should be a priority area. Then handling of traumatized children. The children, naturally there will be chances of trauma, various incident issues, or even the reports or programs in television channels the children are subjected to, and many of such things causes trauma in young children. So how to handle these traumatized children, that should be another priority area. Then in order to building capacity in children, the certain other areas such as their protection and safety, the protection and safety of children, how to provide protection and how to keep the children safe, that should be an area that should be included in this in service training. Then communication and spoken language, spoken language should be, if give more emphasis than written, because child should effectively communicate orally. So they should be able to express their views, express their needs clearly. So that should be an area. Then computer or smart device literacy. So young children are very fond of using these devices, gadgets. They are very attracted to that also. So a literacy towards that computer as well as such smart devices is required for teachers as well, because nowadays it is seen that adults are somewhat far behind that of young children in handling these such devices. Since dance movement therapy, that's a new intervention in all levels of education, the dance movement therapy. So a dance having has proved so many advantages in life, especially to build a better physical development and all. So that should be an area. And finally, self-defense skills. So that also is highly significant for young children, how to defend themselves. So the skills required. So the in-service training should incorporate such programs, such activities which enable the teacher to build necessary capacity in young children attending ECC center. So this is a brief presentation on in-service training for ECC staff. So that's the end. Thanks for watching.